and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
I'm Doug, and let's start with the news.
Porsche. Now, recently, Porsche has been having a little bit of a tough time. They reported a $5.8 billion less in profit in 2025. Not a good situation.
You know what hit me though about this, because this has been reported. It's been a big splash
news.
everywhere. They reported like 5.9 billion in profit last year and 2 years ago, and this year they reported like 90 million.
Yep.
But you know what my great friend Manny Koshman once taught me? You don't go broke making a profit.
That's right.
90 million, still 90 million. If Filippo made 90 million, you know what he'd be doing? Probably this.
Probably still this. I don't think anything in his life would change in any regard.
Why change a good thing?
Yes, but it gets a little bit worse. Of course, VW has been saying for a little while they're going to cut 50,000 jobs. That includes at Porsche by 2030. So things aren't looking great at Porsche, but they have a new CEO, and he has some ideas about how Porsche can make some money. And one of the big things is he said recently is, quote, they are looking at sports cars above the 911, which means one of these in theory. Now, of course, there are models of the 911 that haven't come out yet. GT2 RS, for instance. But they're considering other models, and that we kind of think means there's going to be a hypercar.
The fellow who runs Porsche now came from McLaren.
Which makes me a little bit concerned.
Isn't that weird? Like you're promoting people and hiring people who have not had success at other companies. Like, I don't understand that.
Right. They look at the McLaren lineup and it's like,
To be fair, McLaren went from this is zero here to like here. That's success.
But it was reported only a couple of years ago that they were like teetering on the edge of bankruptcy.
But when you start out teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, growth is it's teetering a little less.
Well, but Porsche's not in that position. They need someone who, they don't need like a McLaren. They need someone who like can take a good thing and make, now, regardless.
It's a weird hire.
So they say there's gonna be cars above the 911. You're saying hypercar. My personal point of view is we're going to be talking like SF90 type stuff.
Well, to be clear, they said we were looking at models and derivatives above our current two-door sports cars and above the Cayenne.
Right. Yeah. We already, it's
Cayenne
crazy that they would say that. We already know they're going to do a three-row Cayenne. That's like talked about.
Yeah.
We also kind of know they're going to do a hypercar. It was supposed to come out along with F80 and W1, but they were going all electric with Mission X. And more or less it has leaked that they are canceling their development of a full electric and they're instead going to go for something different.
Right. Well, and we're not exactly sure yet. Don't forget they did recently file a patent for a W18 engine. I'm not saying that's going to go, and it seems unlikely to me as well.
I think that what they ought to do is their time-tested strategy of to take their Formula One engine, like they did with the Carrera GT, and just put it in a supercar.
Well, technically, with their ties to Audi, they could put an actual Formula One engine in a car for the first time. But
well, you know, the 918 had an actual Le Mans race car engine.
Is Le Mans Formula One? Let me do the math. Carry the one.
No, but the point is, it had a race car motor. Like, it was real.
It did. I mean, well, and this would have if they could build engines and the rules didn't change, but timing didn't work out. It's a road car engine and a road car. Just saying. But yes, I'm nonetheless excited.
Derived from a Formula One power plant.
It was derivative at best.
You know what Filippo would do if he got 90 million? He'd buy the lot behind his house. Because he's worried about the lot behind his house being developed one day.
That's right. Not in his backyard, I'll tell you that.
But I'm supportive. They said as part of that same press conference, we're using the current challenges as an opportunity to act even more decisively. We will comprehensively reposition Porsche, make the company leaner, faster, and its products even more desirable.
That's thrilling. I'm glad to hear that they feel that way, and I'm sure that they will. And the products are still great, except for the electric Cayenne, which is not going to sell. Or the electric Macan, which is not currently selling.
Right, and yes, and the electric Cayman that people are infuriated about that doesn't exist yet.
And the Taycan and Panamera, which neither of them sell.
Right.
But other than that...
And really, they just need to sell cars in China, which they have failed to do the last year. But, maybe.
Well, I don't know. We'll certainly see what happens. Nonetheless, I'm excited for whatever the next Porsche hypercar is. We've been waiting a while now.
It is so weird. Porsche is such a weird brand because they have this capability to sell cars in the $600 to $2 million price point, but they also sell an SUV that is leased at incentive teaser deals. Mm-hmm. What other company is like that? It is such a weird situation. So there probably is room for them to go in at a higher number. I have a suspicion McLaren CEO comes in and says, hey, why don't you guys actually compete directly with the 750S? You have your GT3 RS and your GT2 RS, do compete with them, but at the very highest level of this existing sports car. Why don't you have a purpose-built car especially with your Porsche brand name. McLaren has a hard time selling cars at this price point, but Porsche wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why don't you go and do this?
Didn't Porsche have trouble selling Carrera GTs?
And 918.
It was
And
a different
918s.
market.
Yeah.
It was a different market. And 918 is sure, but the car is a very different price point. I'm talking about like the $500,000
Got
to
it.
$800,000.
Yeah, they should.
Both.
Where
They-
SF90 is.
Maybe they will. Maybe that's what it'll be.
I think that is what it'll be. We hope it has 3 pedals.
Oh my God!
It
Imagine if it
Sorry, we just got to say now.
It won't.
It
but
won't.
but it
Why do you say it won't? If,
hey, they're decisive now, Filippo. So
if anybody would, it would be
There's
Porsche.
3 trim at the moment. Porsche sells 3 trims of cars that have a manual transmission.
Yeah, but-
the Carrera T, the GT3 Touring, and something else.
Yeah, but Filippo.
There's no other cars in their lineup of all the cars they sell that are manual. I
Yeah.
know they should recognize that
But
there's a huge case for it. they should, but I don't think they will.
That's being deliberately like the 911 ST went out of production yesterday afternoon, and not only did it sell out as a only manual transmission car, but used ones are selling for double the sticker
I
price.
agree
So
that-
like ultimately, it's a little disingenuous.
I agree that they should take the message that there's strong demand.
They will.
But don't you kind of think that they won't?
I think that they want to satisfy enthusiasts. If they're going to, the Carrera GT's birth story is in a lot of ways related to the fact that Cayenne had come out and a lot of people were discounting Porsche as an enthusiast brand.
Yeah.
And so they had to come out with something really special like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a 3-row Cayenne, and if they come out with all these electric cars, if they say, hey, we're also going to do a true manual transmission supercar in the image of something like that to really prove to people that even though we're also heading in this direction, we can still head in the true Porsche.
we haven't forgotten who we are.
I hope so, but if you want to compete on power and specs, they're already at kind of the pinnacle of where they can go with transmissions they already have and engines they
But
already
they
have.
proved that they don't have to. They have to compete on is driving involvement because they're an enthusiast brand, and that's what they
Maybe.
capitalize on. And they're doing really well with GT3.
And the fact that 911 STs are selling for $700,000 should give them a message that there are new car buyers willing to spend that money on a special car that has a manual transmission.
Yeah.
Here, this is the signal, Jerry. This is the signal.
Yeah.
Porsche's a boring thing to talk about. Let's talk about the most interesting news story of the week. Rivian R2 Pricing. Rivian R2 Pricing is finally here. Are you ready for it, Filippo? Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is, and I'm very excited.
All right, we're filming this before the embargo, so I have to look at my embargoed information. The standard Rivian, base model, 350 horsepower Rivian, 265 miles of range. Take a guess what that car costs. Base model, rear-wheel drive, 350 horse, 0 to 60 in 5.9.
For the R260, because an R1 base is what, 80?
That starts at $45,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Now that's not coming right away. The standard,
Okay.
it's a year out.
Yeah, okay,
it's a year
not
out. The standard, a year and a half. The standard model has 350 horse, 345 miles of range, so it's a long range model.
Okay.
That's 48.5.
Wow, these are appealing prices.
Yeah, 350 horse and 345 miles of range. That's what you need from a car. 45. Now, this is pre-destination, pre-options. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
That's
Base.
That's less than a year out. Okay. The premium, which is 450 horse, 0 to 60 in 4.6, 330 miles of range, starts at 54. To me, that's the segment leader.
A 4Runner TRD off-road premium starts at 56.
What does a Model Y cost? Like, to me, these numbers are really, really appealing. 54,000 for a
Really appealing.
450 horse, 540 pound-feet, 0 to 60 in 4.6, 330 miles of range. It checks every box, and it looks like that, and it drives so well.
It does.
54,000. What is it? What is a
Model Y? The rear-wheel drive basis model starts at 40. To get to premium all-wheel drive, you're at 49.
49. This is within. This is going to absolutely be within Model Y territory, except it is a much more appealing car. It looks better. It can do more. Obviously, it's off-road capable where the Y is not. You don't have the Elon problem, which for a lot of our viewers, I know it's not a problem. You love the man, but for a lot of people, it is. Realistically, obviously, it's more practical. And then there's the performance at the top of the lineup, 650 horse, 3.6 seconds, 0 to 60, with the launch package that's a $58,000 car. Now, again, all this is pre-destination. Destination's $1,500, so add $1,500 to all those numbers.
It's also interesting to compare it to regular ICE cars, right? So like I talked about a 4Runner a second ago, a Land Cruiser, which is maybe more comparable from like a luxury like positioning standpoint. MSRP for the 1958, which is the base trim,
model,
it's 57.6.
Yeah.
So you can get the top trim.
57,600. God, that car is so overpriced.
Yeah.
It's such a
and the regular
it's the worst car on sale.
The regular, if you want the square headlights, is 64.
God,
Wow.
That's about 61 more than I'd spend. But this is an appealing car. And talk about road, compared to a Land Cruiser, the road manners are so significantly better.
Yep.
You're not stressing out that 4-cylinder engine that's barely keeping up with the car. This is a really compelling car. You got to admit, between $46,500 for the very base model and the very top trim with destination is still under $60,000. That's a 650 horse off-road SUV that does 0 to 60 in 3.6 with 330 miles of range. It is a perfect all-rounder.
Incredibly appealing.
Incredibly appealing.
Well, it's really important to hit a home run with this car. This is what we've been waiting for, admittedly. And I'm personally waiting for R3 because that's my thing. But this is so compelling. It's hard to argue with this car.
Especially, I think R3 is going to be cool, but ultimately this is going to be the volume car.
Absolutely, of course.
And I think it is incredibly. I think the only drawback is I really, truly believe it will eat into R1 sales. They don't, but they're wrong. Like, it just straight up will. Especially because they're not visually differentiated. But I think that it's going to be a really big hit at those price points. I'm really surprised at those price points, obviously, honestly. And in fact, the big sellers are going to be the Standard and the Premium. The Standard starts at $48,490 pre-destination. That's carefully created to make it fit right under $50,000 base before with destination, which is totally reasonable.
And if they're single motor, if the single motor, which is a Standard, right? If I'm understanding correctly.
Standard is rear-wheel drive. Yeah.
So if that is still giving you 350 horsepower.
Yeah.
Great.
That's right. That's faster than any gas-powered competitor. It's faster than anything like that.
Now, you probably do want all-wheel drive, and Rivian, I think, is still going after the off-road, or at least vaguely
But
capable
stepping
crowd.
up to the Premium, which is what I think I would do looking at these numbers, you step up to the Premium, you get another 100 horsepower, you get all-wheel drive Standard, a second's chopped off 0 to 60, your range is not affected at all, and the additional cost is only $5,000. The Premium is like the one to get. It's just starting to get a little spendy at about 56 before options. But that's like the one to get.
I'm impressed by this pricing.
You're buying one.
I can see it. You want one. You do.
I do. I think it's an incredibly compelling offering. It will quickly go to the top of the list of what do you recommend to somebody?
Yeah.
That's
anybody who comes to me now looking for an EV, I'd be like, look, you need an R2. But what about, no, look, it's time for an R2. You certainly don't want an Ioniq 6, am I right?
They're just dead.
Okay, we got that's R2 pricing. Very compelling, very appealing.
Have you ever just Googled yourself? I did recently, and it's genuinely creepy. My phone number, address, just out there for anyone to find. And honestly, being on a podcast and more visible online, it's something I think about more and more. That's why I've been using Delete Me. The more you put yourself out there, whether it's social media, a podcast, whatever, the more your personal info ends up floating around on sites you've never even heard of. Delete Me goes in and removes your info from data broker sites, companies that collect and sell your personal data to basically anyone, including scammers. It runs in the background and just handles it, so you don't have to stress about it. You can take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. And right now, listeners can get 20% off their plan at joindeleteme.com/DeMuro. Use promo code DeMuro at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/DEMURO. Code DEMURO.
A lot of the rest of the news is devoted to cars that are dead, including the Audi A8, which is dead.
RIP.
Surprises no one. We have reported on this podcast that the Lexus LS died. That was maybe 6 months ago. Obviously, 8 years ago, the Jaguar XJ died. The Acura RL died. All of the big luxury
Acura RL died.
RLX. All of the
Recently.
big... I don't know, 10 years. It's the big, it's like we're seeing a pattern.
Yeah.
And I have long predicted the death of the A8. One of the last videos of reviews I did of the A8, I was talking about, I think it'd be the last generation, which it was. But I still think the 7 Series is not long for this world.
That is exactly what I thought when I saw this news. And they killed it in the fatherland too. So in Germany, they're no longer accepting orders. And it's like, you just have to imagine 7 isn't that far behind. I see them a lot though, so... I don't know.
They care a little bit more about
7
BMW holds on to the heritage.
You got to assume also that 7 Series is still selling relatively well enough that, like, it's still relatively popular.
It's justifiable for now, but its days may be numbered.
Man, its sales numbers are low. The 0506, they were selling 17, 18, 16,000 units a year. This is in the United States. These days, they are lucky to crack 10. So in a normal year, they're selling half of what they, 07, 08, they were selling 17, 18,000 units. These days, they're lucky to crack 10. They're selling half of what they were just 15 years ago. The writing is on the wall.
Yeah. Half during the recession. That's,
The writing is on the wall. It's pretty clear where the future of this car is headed.
But nonetheless, rest in peace, A8.
It's a good car.
Such a good
The
car.
A8 was a good car. The Lexus LS was a good car. I don't think that any of the failure of this market, of these vehicles, have anything to do with their quality as vehicles.
Nope.
I think it is purely the market segment has moved on. People want SUVs. I mean, you could drive around in this or a Range Rover. You drive around in this, you look like the father of someone who has a Range Rover, you know, or the grandfather.
I'm fine with that. Personally.
So true.
Nobody wants to say, and you know, remember they tried in this generation to make it where you open the door and it raises up like an SUV, so it's not so hard to get in. Shockingly, that play didn't work.
Incredible suspension technology, though. It like predicts bumps, right? And like it has a camera to scan.
Nobody cares about
And
it.
I'm sure it will be reliable in the long term.
Nobody cares about any of this. I was the saddest about the Jaguar XJ because I thought the final generation XJ was a fantastic luxury.
Well, luckily you had like 10 years of it being out.
Including with the V8. But this is another luxury sedan dead. Full-size luxury sedans. Thankfully, Cadillac came out with one that costs $400,000. But other than that, what's left?
The S-Class, which just got refreshed. That's going to stick around.
Yep, the S-Class, the G90, which obviously will not see another generation.
No doubt.
The 7 Series, that's it.
Yep.
That's all. That's your full-size luxury sedan world. It used to be that those were the top of the heap of aspirational. I mean, obviously there's Rolls-Royce and Bentley and stuff, but I'm talking about at this price point. There used to be the top of the heap of aspirational cars. Like when you were a kid, if someone's dad had an S-Class, they were the rich. Like it was like that was like the coolest thing imaginable.
I mean, yeah, totally. But this extrapolates to those cars, Rolls-Royce and Bentley too. I mean, how many Cullinans and Bentegas do you see versus? When was the last time you saw a Series 8 Phantom?
Absolutely.
I can't remember. Genuinely.
Totally. Yeah.
Recently, but yeah.
But I love my sedans, but that's sad. It makes me sad.
I love sedans too, and I think that for enthusiasts, there's still a place for sedans as performance cars. These are certainly not enthusiast cars.
Yeah.
And it's one more gone. And you have to assume G90 goes away, and then you're just left with the 7 Series and
Hey,
the
don't forget about the
S-Class.
Panamera.
The Panamera is a hatchback.
Also, maybe combined with the Taycan.
You know, that's one of the trickiest things Porsche's ever done. The Panamera this whole time is a luxury sedan. It's a hatchback. They snuck in this sneaky little hatchback into the market. Nobody knows.
Does just having a hatchback maketh it a genre? Because the 812 is a hatchback.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
The 812 and the Volkswagen Golf duke it out for compact hatchback of the year, in my book anyway. No, you're right. There is the Panamera, but that's not going to be long for this role.
No.
either. I mean, you look at these sales
There
numbers.
is talks of the next gen Panamera. It will be combined with the Taycan.
Of course it will. The idea that there were two cars in that segment is so insane from the outset. Of course that was what was going to happen.
Yep.
Okay, interesting things. Give us our next newsie. Oh my God, did you read this?
I did.
Car and Driver, notable publication. I'm famous. Called me out in their review of the Honda Prelude. They said, internet personalities obsessed with quirks and features have criticized the Prelude's base price. But accounting for inflation, the 97 Prelude is actually more expensive than today's Prelude. That's what they said. The thing that they're forgetting is they didn't account for any inflation in terms of horsepower. The current Prelude actually has the same horsepower rating as the 97 Prelude that they referenced.
It turns out that cars have gotten cheaper. Like, it turns out if you look at all cars relative to inflation, cars have gotten truly notably cheaper.
I will say, I actually love Car and Driver, and I use Car and Driver a lot for research, for videos that I make and all that. Writing stuff about how the Prelude is not too expensive undermines the credibility of the entire endeavor. There's nobody in the world who thinks this car is reasonably priced. And then you see this, and that's where the criticism comes. Oh, they're getting paid by Honda. It's like, oh, yeah, probably. Like, how do you say they're not? And they're sitting here defending the new Prelude and the tradition of all the great future Preludes, or past ones. I will say this, Car and Driver. Let's do a little friendly comparison about sales figures. A little wager here, and let's see how it goes. Let's see if this car is successful. And I think in the end, the internet personality obsessed with quirks and features will be right. Filippo, you thinking about a Prelude?
No.
Huh, and why is that?
There's so many reasons. Because first of all, the Civic hybrid hatchback exists. Second of all, the Accord hybrid exists, and it's the same price.
I have now seen one Prelude. It wasn't on the road. It was at a Honda dealer that I drove by. They had like a viewing platform, and it was on it.
Wow.
Trying to get people off the freeway to come.
Credit to Honda. I've seen two.
With plates.
With plates. And apparently they have a goal of selling about 4,000 this year. And in February they did sell like 200-ish, 300, which is like puts them vaguely on track.
Well, I would argue that, right? Ultimately, 300 times 12 is less than 4,000, and that's when the car is brand new.
I said vaguely on track.
If you look at the tail of these cars, it ends up, it doesn't usually increase.
Supply limited. When the new 4Runner comes out, first month sales aren't that high.
I'll tell you right now, this thing ain't supply limited. There is not a Honda dealer in the world who doesn't have 3 of these either existing at their dealership or inbound, sitting there thinking, how are we going to put these down? There is not a Honda dealer in the world that isn't in their Monday morning sales meeting, doesn't have all the salespeople come together. All right, $2,000 to anybody who sells the Prelude this week. Anybody who gets the Prelude out the door gets $2,000.
300 new on lots right now.
300,
which is about a month.
A month's supply.
Apparently, a month. It's been out for a month.
Filippo, if you had that $90 million in profit, you'd still drive right past the Honda dealership and not buy this.
Oh yeah,
there are other Hondas I would buy.
People with $90 million can't afford to lose the depreciation that this car is going to lose. This is the only. This is the first piece that I have seen that supported the Prelude.
Agrees with your take, yeah. I will say that their second piece is that it handles great, which you also said.
Agreed. It totally did handle great. But it'd
be nice if the rear seats matched fronts, but hey, that's just me.
That was pretty rough. All right, move on to the wheels.
All right, I'm excited to report that earlier this week was TE37 Day.
I want to give a little story about why we're doing this news story. TE37 is some sort of wheel in Japan. People in the comments will be like, that's the greatest wheel.
Yes,
I'm not a Japanese wheel guy, but we have a guy here in the office, Ryan Lopez. You may remember him from the broken air conditioner incident a couple weeks ago. Anyway, he's obsessed with all sorts of modded Japanese cars. And he said to me, if you do the story on the TE37s being given their own holiday in Japan, I'll do a favor for you. And I said, great. I said, we're low on snacks in the office. I said, can you buy them? He said, I won't buy them until you do the news.
So we had no choice. No,
so big day in Japan.
The Japan Anniversary Association, which is apparently the association that makes national holidays in Japan. I did verify this is truly the association that does it. Made March 7th, starting this year, the Volk Racing TE37 Day. Yeah. So it's been around for 30 years this month, or this year rather. And obviously 37. So Volk T37's made by Rays.
Explain that to me. How is it both Volk and Rays?
It's company.
It's a parent company. Volk Racing is a subsidiary.
So this would be like a General Motors Cadillac CT5.
Which, by the way, every General Motors car said General Motors. It tracks.
Okay, so March 7, great day in Japan. Love our TE37s. Fantastic wheels. Is that enough to get the snacks in the office? Got it. Okay, move on.
Wait, go back a picture, Kennan. Until you saw those pictures, would you have known what a T37 is?
Yeah, but that's the only wheel I can identify that isn't OE. I can identify every OE wheel and one aftermarket wheel. And it's the Ronald Teddy Bears, of course.
Obviously.
Now, he also will use TE37 as like a coverall for any aftermarket wheel if it's just, wow, TE37s.
Anytime at Cars and Coffee, someone's got aftermarket wheels, I'm like, look at this thing on TE37. No, great day in Japan to commemorate the very special TE37, which is, of course, on many four-lug vehicles, including Ryan's Zesty drift car, which, by the way, has functional air conditioning. Nothing has air conditioning. All right, move on to the next news story. There was a report in New York Times. This is one of those news articles I hate. New York Times reporting that California is cracking down on Montana people. I don't hate it because I have any cars registered in Montana. In fact, I don't have it for a long time. I hate it because everyone in my life has sent me this news article.
Did they not? So this all came from the state attorney general, whatever, put up like a Facebook post and an Instagram post about this, and all the pictures in that article came from that Instagram post.
California, a lot of states have started to crack down. In fact, California is not the strictest state that is cracking down on this. Every time I read an article about California's enforcement measures, I'm astonished at how lax they are. They're like, we think $20 million is uncaptured sales tax. I'm like, maybe like 10 cars, maybe.
What happened?
They're apparently cracking down. They're starting to go after dealers. So one of the interesting things that California has done to try to curb this happening is that if a car in California is sold now to an out-of-state business, you have to submit a driver's license. Even though a business is buying it, some human being has to submit a driver's license to California DMV taking ownership of the car. Now, if you buy the car and you live in North Carolina and you ship the car to North Carolina as an out-of-state business and you provide a North Carolina DL, California's not going to care anymore. But if you buy the car as a Californian, you submit a California driver's license and you register it to an out-of-state Montana business, they're going to be knocking on your door, as they should.
So last week, they announced last week that they charged 14 people with felony tax evasion and how many dollars in sales tax?
Specifically, though, the article was highlighting that they had found these people through the dealerships.
$2.3 million in sales tax revenue.
Yeah. The dealerships who are now providing this form, that dealerships are now required to provide this form anytime a car is sold to an out-of-state business. And so it's gotten a little bit harder to title a car in Montana if you're a California resident or a California driver's license, unless you play a little fast and loose with things.
It's such an obvious spot for enforcement.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so visible.
Right.
It's so obvious in so many cases.
Right.
People brag about it constantly.
Totally.
Some of the convictions came from, like, just text back and forth. Like,
Well,
oh my
that
God,
was
I
during
can't.
discovery. They didn't get those.
Obviously,
but yes.
it helped with the conviction. Was during discovery, there were just texts back and forth of, oh my God, I saved so much money by titling my car in Montana.
Right.
So maybe don't. Brag about it. But
Kennan, what are you going to do now? You can't do Montana anymore.
I have always registered my cars in the state of California. I've paid sales tax on them all proudly. So that sounds like a problem for other people.
I agree. Now, the article, me too, by the way, Oklahoma. Now, the Oklahoma is what I say when I'm being serious. We should start saying Montana.
should not.
No, that's if you're being disingenuous.
The article did say that they're going to crack down on the other 4 no sales tax states, which are, and specifically start giving more scrutiny to cars in California registered in those states, which are Oregon, Delaware, New Hampshire, and Alaska. New Hampshire is probably not a big one because they have a physical inspection, but I mean, I don't see cars running around with Delaware plates. We see some Alaskas.
But that's mostly military, where you were stationed.
Oregon's tough because it borders. Like, I see cars from Oregon all the time, but if it's February, I would want to get out of Oregon right now too.
The benefit of Montana is that you can create an LLC incredibly easily. The car never needs to be there.
Right.
Like, there's a bunch of benefits that I think make Montana a little unique.
Yeah. Alaska's apparently the same way. And Alaska's,
Really?
Yeah. People do Alaska now.
Down in San Diego, you can get away with that because
You can
every
get away
service
with a
member
lot in
has.
San Diego.
Yeah, it'd be hard
It's tough if you're CHP to pull people over for this because 80% of the time someone's going to pull out an Oregon driver's license, go on with their Oregon license plate and be like, why are you hassling?
Right.
But if it's on a LaFerrari, it might be a little harder to So I bet that guy doesn't have an Oregon or a Montana license.
Yeah, maybe. That might be true. By the way, I took this photo and I took it in California. And the reason I took it is because that Hyundai Accent was trying to parallel park in front of this LaFerrari. And it was the most stressful experience of my entire life just watching it happen. This is probably 8 years ago at Monterey Car Week. Okay, what's our next news story? Filippo.
Right. So there was a report out this week about by like a transportation alternatives organization about the people that got the most speed camera tickets in New York State.
Yep.
And I want you to just kind of give me a guesstimate in 2025. How many tickets a single car received that was the most? In this case, school zone speeding tickets.
Well, I mean, in Manhattan, you get them. I don't know, 40, 50.
I will say number one was 100% in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The person's commuting to work every day, doesn't know the camera's there, and ignores the tickets because they're registered out of state. Honda Accord, some popular car.
It was 259 tickets
a day.
to 2023 Audi A6. By the way, the same car was number one in 2024 as well. Small credit to them. They do pay their entire fines, which were $64,000 last year.
You're kidding.
They paid 64 grand.
Yeah, they actually paid it, which is rare, by the way. Most of these payment spending. In New York State, you can get the speeding camera tickets. They don't connect in any way to your registration, to your license.
Yeah.
So it's not points on your license. It's just cash. There are some interesting ones
Is
here.
this Turo? No, because it's the same place every day.
Yeah.
How weird. They paid.
They paid. Number two was a Lexus.
And then kept speeding.
For 2 years in a row.
They should use a tax.
Yeah, but a crazy high one. You drive an A6. You could be in an A8 with the car rising to greet you.
It costs more in tickets than the whole car did at this point, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There are some interesting ones. In some cases, there was a GLE that had 177 tickets, all in a 2-month period.
Wow.
Not before, not since. Which is fascinating. But number one, 2 years in a row, is that. Somebody also got 134 tickets totaling $20,000 in a 2024 BMW 760i, which is Legit.
That's not a V12. Though.
That's not a V12, but it's still the top.
Europeans
top
watching this will be like, I don't understand. This is insane. Why these people are arrested?
You gotta wonder. I mean, like
in the United States, we have an unusual attitude towards speed cameras. The United States gets made fun of sometimes for having low speed limits. However, enforcement is much less significant than in almost every other developed country. And there are no speed cameras in the United States. And the few places that have implemented speed cameras have done it in very small numbers, only in school zones and construction zones primarily, some stoplights. And even then, they run into a problem because you have the right to confront your accuser in the United States. The accuser is a camera. The governments are always afraid of litigating some of these cases. And so they're actually more willing to just be like, all right, well, they didn't pay. We're not going to go after them. We can't do much. They can't prove who's behind the wheel. You know, in Germany, if you get a speeding camera ticket, they say, we don't care who's behind the wheel. Right, you're paying this and you're responsible. But in the States, it's very different.
Getting 259 school zone speeding camera tickets at some point does become a safety hazard.
It's wild that the person speeds in school zone every day. Send a police officer out there to start writing them actual tickets that will actually affect their driving record.
This report says that there's 2.5 million people that live within a 5-minute walk of the intersections where the 10 super speeders got most of their tickets.
It's really not all that hard. I know NYPD doesn't do traffic enforcement, but like, you could nip this one in the bud pretty quick. 3 school zone speeding tickets read to a person, probably you lose your license, I assume, especially in a short period of time, 2 or 3.
Yeah, but
they don't do that. That's not how things work in New York. The traffic enforcement is a political thing that is talked about in New York City, but it is not something that's actually enforced.
If you see a black 2023 Audi A6 and you live in Brooklyn, be quite careful.
What's the plate? Did they give the plate?
They do give the plate.
What is it?
LCM 8254.
Damn. He should get birthplace of baseball plates. Everyone in New York should.
2017 IS is number 2, Ram 1500.
2017 Lexus IS?
Yeah.
Ram 1500.
Ram 1500 number 3, GLE number 4.
What's the plate on the Ram?
Brother.
LCK 7.
Oh, so it's a regular person.
Regular person. Of course it's a regular person.
Well, I don't know. I could see these tickets being racked up by delivery companies or taxis that are driving massive miles and the company just pays them as a
They would find consequence for that. There's another Ram 1500 on the list as well, and a Mercedes A-Class.
Really? An A-Class sedan? These are all cars where I wouldn't assume that people would care, so I guess it makes sense.
Helping run Cars and Bids, I'm constantly amazed at how many different ways our team has found to use Claude. Like, it started with me using it for research and writing, but now it's spread across the whole company. Our developers are using it to ship faster. The marketing team is drafting copies. Our HR team is making dashboards. It's genuinely becoming part of how we work. Claude is the AI for minds that don't stop at good enough. It's a collaborator that actually understands your entire workflow and thinks with you. Whether you're debugging code at midnight or strategizing your next business move, Claude extends your thinking to tackle the problems that matter. What gets me is that it's not one use case. It's every department finding their own thing. The connectors mean that Claude can plug into the tools your team already uses, like Google Workspace or Notion, so it has real context. It's not just a chatbot anymore. It's like kind of like a central brain for the whole operation. Are you ready to tackle bigger problems? Get started with Claude today at claude.ai/cars. That's claude.ai/cars. And check out Claude Pro, which includes access to all of the features that I just mentioned. claude.ai/cars.
Okay, next news story, please. Very interesting, very interesting. Another car that's dead, the Infiniti J30.
Nice. The Ioniq 6 is dead, except for the Ioniq 6N, which will be sold in 2026.
Because they came out with it yesterday.
Yeah, they also came out with a refresh in 2025.
What were they thinking of this car?
So most Hyundai EVs, including the Ioniq 5, are built in the US. The Ioniq 6 is built in South Korea.
Okay, so there was a tariff issue in addition to it being a sedan. I mean, it was kind of doomed from day one because it looked like the Infiniti J30. Yeah, it does. And it was electric. It's
a cool looking sedan, but it's a weird looking sedan.
I don't think
you never liked the Infiniti J30?
I don't love the Infiniti J30.
Really? It's rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
You don't like this car?
I said I don't love it.
It's not.
It's particular.
Look at that.
And I agree that the Ioniq 6 is similar. So yeah, it wasn't selling that well relative to other Hyundai EVs and cost 25% more to Hyundai because of the tariffs. Makes sense. The Ioniq 6N, I think, is small enough production numbers that they're willing to eat that.
And plus, it literally just came out. They should at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
Unlike Infiniti, who only gave us 4 short years with the J30. You could only take the J30 to your golf course for a short, limited time, and then it was stolen from us.
Sadly. But goodbye.
You remember this
Ioniq
car at
6.
all? You ever seen one of these?
No. I would
you're
ignore.
missing
I
out.
try to ignore these, but
They look kind of cool.
I don't think so.
I don't
They're
hate how
pain.
they look either.
I think they look like a beetle, like a not a Volkswagen Beetle, like an actual like grotesque, like called exterminator.
I agree
beetle.
with both of you. I think it looks like a bug and is weird, but at the same time, I'm sort of drawn to it. This is one of those cars that I wish I would own if I wasn't into cars.
I wanted to. I see what
the
you're
Ioniq
saying.
5
I wanted to
exists.
like this, but I just can't. I've tried.
Also, it came out at the same time as the Ioniq 5. It's sold alongside the Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 is more practical and is the form factor that people want. Of course,
Credit
it's
to
gonna sell
Hyundai,
better.
though, for coming out with both and giving it a
sure.
shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody else just came out with an SUV. Tesla, I guess,
Yeah.
did both, obviously, but most other people just did the SUV
Yeah.
thing. And we got this for a little while, and we got reminded about the J30, and now it's gone.
Except for
the end.
the N, which is cool.
Do you think I should review one? Does it have the same? No one's going to buy it. Is the problem? Does it have the same fake shifting?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't mind reviewing one then. Does it have a big wing?
It
looks like it does. It looks like it has a massive wing. You know, I got on the freeway the other day in something. I was driving something cool, and there was an Hyundai N, either a 5 or a 6 up ahead of me there. Couldn't tell.
It was almost certainly a 5. It does have a big wing, and it has like cool body treatment, actually.
Cool body treatment.
Yep.
It's
So the question is, how do you take this Beetle-looking car and turn it into a performance-looking car? We're about to find out.
It's a 6.
6N, yeah.
It doesn't look that performancey. That looks like a rendering.
That's kind of what it looks like.
That's not it. I think you have to put a space between 6 and N. Doesn't really matter. The point is, it's all. Oh, there we go. There, look at that. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Kennan? Let's go power sliding one of these around wherever that is in Chuckwalla.
That's Chuckwalla for sure.
You think there's Chuckwalla? There's Joshua trees at Chuckwalla? You think so?
Maybe maybe on a couple of those corners.
Maybe they're fake.
I will say, there was a facelift last year. Obviously, nobody cared.
Maybe it's
What else we got in terms of news stories? Anything else? Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course. The Mercedes VLE, which is their new luxury electric van. That's obviously made for like limo companies and fleets, but
Yeah.
will be sold to private people.
Full
It's coming-
electric?
Yeah, it's coming to the U.S. We don't have range numbers yet, but their big focus is on screens. There's like a huge screen on the interior, as with every new Mercedes product.
Yep.
There's a huge rear compartment screen. And it's a new van. The Metris obviously was a beloved, well-reviewed, well-regarded minivan. And if you haven't gone to see Doug's review, you should, because he really expands on why it's so good. The VLE will, I'm sure, be a success.
You think it'll be a success?
Absolutely not. It will do
370 miles of EPA range. 370.
well. It will do well with, they're going to have 2 batteries, so the base trim is smaller battery.
Can I ask you a question?
It will do well with like the fleets that want a small luxury minivan.
You often talk about how you wish there were electric vans, plug-in vans,
I know.
and luxury vans. Why
Yeah.
doesn't Lexus make a van? Why isn't... Folks, this is it. Now, is there only going to be like an executive transport version, or is there going to be like a car seat capable
I think there's going to be a regular version. We are only getting the long wheelbase version.
We
in
don't.
the
We don't
US.
want the shorty. We don't need the
don't.
shorty. This ain't the ID Buzz. We don't need the shorty.
Right. So more to come, but it is exciting that it's coming because I think it is a niche. I mean, you saw people converting the Metris into the Metris Maybach to have a luxurious people carrier limo situation. This is a good contender for that too.
Okay.
I kind of like the W123 inspired like grill and stuff on the front. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
W123
It is W. I completely agree with that. It looks like an old, like high
yeah.
grill, low grill Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this from the perspective of someone who wants a minivan. Do you think that this will replace my desire to have a Toyota Sienna?
Oh no.
Because you think it's going to be like very commercial van.
In Europe, it will certainly be a family van too, and I'm sure they'll come out with some.
What
version
makes
of that.
Europeans different from me?
They have different car buying preferences.
Like what? Like what?
They don't buy Toyota Sequoias for one.
I saw a
Can you
Sequoia.
imagine?
Last time I was in Italy, I saw a Sequoia TRD Pro on the street. I got a picture of it.
Really?
What was the
Yeah.
play? Swiss?
No, it was Italian plates, and it was the V8 one, the old body. It was green. I'll send you the picture. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I
to
actually
put on the thing.
distinctly remember it, and it was quite a moment for me. This might be something that is vaguely appealing. I worry that it won't be as.
I think emphasis on the
nice as you
vague,
want.
but yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see the price point. I personally am interested in this electric van. I'll tell you what, it's only been good news stories this week. A8's gone, didn't like it anyway. Ioniq 6 gone. We already heard that story with the J30. But now we got an electric minivan.
Yep.
Filippo, and California's cracking down on the losers who try to cheat us all.
Right.
Everything is coming up, Filippo.
Yep.
All right, next news story.
And that's the end of it.
That's the end.
Well, sorry, Filippo. It's all
really want
over
to
for
talk
you.
about Stellantis.
Filippo
so
wanted
good.
to also talk about some van that
Oh, I do want to talk about the Ram van.
we're not.
But that's not
talking
the
about.
Stellantis
Okay,
story
fine.
of
Tell
the
us
day.
the Stellantis story.
All
They're
right.
hiring engineers.
I want to share a quick headline.
Yep.
The new folks at Stellantis have a new CEO. Recognize that they've had some quality issues, and they're
Yep.
hiring 2,000 engineers to fix their quality issues.
Now, some feel that if you take pride in your work, the quality should be good. So the fact they need 2,000 people to go.
Their
try to make it
framing
better.
for this is actually somewhat fair, which is the companies that have the best quality reputations are the companies that most iterate instead of innovate. So
Yes.
basically, their argument is like Toyota uses the same
Yes.
powertrains for decades and decades and decades.
One problem though is that I have is that Chrysler doesn't do either.
It was good framing. I didn't say it was correct.
I totally agree with that point. I think about this a lot. It is kind of amazing to me sometimes when I get in Toyota some of the features they still don't have
Yep.
because they don't feel that they're ready yet.
And they care about the quality. They use the same chassis, they use the same engines for a long, long time.
I would like to
work
see Chrysler step into the innovation realm. Therefore,
Oh yeah, no, that seems unlikely.
okay. Well, then I would at least like them to be able to create cars that aren't lemon law buybacked.
That is their hope too.
2,000 engineers so that Ram 1500s don't get lemon law buybacked.
And this might not work, to be clear. This might not be enough. They may need more.
Let's just hire more people.
Just throw people and money at
Let me
it.
ask you a
It
question.
also assumes that they hire
Good.
the best people. And I don't know.
Which you assume they don't. Let me ask you a question. If you're Chrysler or whoever it is,
By the way, Stellantis isn't just Chrysler. They have many brands. But yeah,
that's another problem.
they have so many brands.
Do you think that spinning off Ram into its own brand was really stupid?
It was a tough move, especially when Dodge sells a single vehicle.
If you're Chrysler,
Two
why do you
vehicles.
think that 2,000 additional people is going to be the thing that solves the problem? Don't you think quality,
Because some consultant McKinsey told them that's going to fix everything.
There's a good rationale, right? Like they need to do a lot more testing, basically is what they're saying, right? They need to go a lot further on their like infotainment and electronic system testing. They need to just do more testing generally, and that's what the focus is.
It just seems like a lot. It just seems like a lot of people for something that should be done.
Also, I'm excited to talk in about, 2 years on this podcast about them laying off,
2,000.
somewhere between 2,000 and 10,000 engineers. Something in that range.
God, that's truer than I can even begin to explain. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can you name even 10 of Stellantis' brands?
Are you kidding?
They have 14.
I can literally name all of them.
They have 14. Please go ahead.
Chrysler,
Yep.
Ram,
Yep.
Alfa Romeo, Fiat,
Yep.
Dodge.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm already halfway there. Mm-hmm. SRT.
not a standalone brand.
There was a time. Lancia.
Yeah.
Which Italian ones have I done? Have I said Fiat?
You said Fiat
So,
and Alpha.
Eagle.
decent guess. The rest will come naturally once you remember who
Maserati.
they bought. Yeah.
Hey, I got 8. I'm doing pretty
That's
well.
pretty good.
Okay. Can you get 2 more?
Yeah,
There are 14. Can you get 2 more?
Yeah, I can get 2 more. Opel
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Holden.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not on this list, but yeah.
Vauxhall. is close.
Vauxhall. Yeah, if we're counting that in Opel. Do they even still sell cars under those brands in Europe?
Apparently.
So that's 10.
bought
What are
them.
the other 4?
Abarth, you missed.
Oh God, Jesus! That is exactly the kind
I
of
knew he was
crap-
going to say it.
I am so
what you
done with
actually
you.
missed.
We're moving on to
what
the
you
talk car
actually missed
segment.
is Citroën DS and Peugeot.
I forgot that they own those. We're moving on to the talk cars segment, which is brought to you by the field behind Filippo's house. The field behind Filippo's house. It could become a tall building, and people will look into his windows.
I would love for it to be built to something.
That's so great.
It's so overgrown. There are gophers. It's a real problem. Producer Sean and I have this ritual. We grab coffee at his favorite spot, Ultrea Coffee in Ocean Beach. It's a great place. And every time I'm there, I notice how smoothly they run. Checkout is instant. The text receipt gets to me before I even grab my cup. There's no fumbling around. They're using Square, and you can tell they're not winging it. Support for today's episode comes from Square, and they've got big news. During Square's biannual releases event, they launched a wave of innovative new features to help local businesses run faster, smarter, and more profitably. From AI that answers your toughest business questions to tech that simplifies food orders and tracks every dollar. It's all live, and it's built for businesses like yours. Whether you're starting fresh or scaling fast, Square helps you keep up and get ahead. And the Square AI thing is what stands out to me. Imagine just asking your dashboard, which day of the week is my slowest, and getting an instant chart back. For a small business owner, that's the kind of insight that used to take hours to figure out. Right now, listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/carpod. That's SQUARE.com/GO/carpod. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Kennan, tell us about Moda.
Yes, and I know you guys talked about it a bit last week, but I was at Moda for the entirety of the event, and I got to experience all of it.
Tell us about the flood.
Everybody wants to know about the flood. The flood was shocking. Now, we knew it was going to rain. Everybody knew this, and it sprinkled the day before. It wasn't a big deal, actually. Got some cool pictures. It was kind of nice, actually. It was sunny in the morning, sprinkled in the afternoon. The storm that came through on Sunday came out of nowhere. The skies got really dark, and we were all like walking around. And my friends and I had gotten there a little bit late, and so we wanted to see everything before the rain came down. But it was clear that wasn't going to happen. So we went under what was the auction tent, which is then the award ceremony tent. It could hold about 400 people, I think. It was huge, and then the heavens opened, and it was not only the rain, it was the wind. The wind was really bad, and lightning actually, I was told, struck a golf cart and was like, so they're like, people can't be hanging out here. So they told us all, and these people are dressed nicely and all these things, like, you have to go inside the Biltmore. And I was like, oh my God.
How far was away was the Biltmore?
Biltmore must have been, I don't know, 200 yards, 300 yards. I mean, like, enough that, like, you're going to get wet. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait and be the last person out there and just let the exodus of people go. But then people were sprinting, and my friends and I all got separated, but I just drenched, just absolutely drenched. I was sprinting at one point.
Were you the last person out?
Close. I waited as long as I could. But the rain was coming down so hard that even like the steps to go up to the Biltmore was like running up a fountain because it was just like cascading down. I got inside just absolutely head to toe soaked. But then my friend Ryan had a stroke of genius. He decided that he was like, well, I need towels. Where are towels? He was like, well, it's probably the fitness center. So he went down to the fitness center. Nobody there. And he texted us all, and we eventually caught up. They had a dry sauna. They had hair dryers.
Wow.
So we all got perfectly dry. And we were walking around, and so we're just waiting for the rain to stop. Now, the rain did stop, and we were like, we have to go out right now. I want to see the carnage out there. I want to see what happened. We got, and it was just immediate. There were areas, just huge flooding. And like, immediately I started thinking, it's like, there's a McLaren F1 here. Where's the McLaren F1? I saw Tyler's car, but Tyler's car was up on like a plinth, you know, the 300 SL was fine. German car can take it. Yeah. I went down the hill, and immediately I come over the hill. There's a 250 short wheelbase backing up out of the mud. There's an F40 in the water. There's a 918.
When in the day did this happen?
This was like, I think, about 1 p.m.
Like the event was ending anyway?
The event was supposed to end, I think, at 3 or 4.
Had all the awards been already given out?
No, people didn't care at that point. Like, some people had gotten their awards. I think Ed was supposed to get an award in his Diablo SV. But anyway, I come over this hill, and like, there's the F1 in water, and like, there's a 675 LT like up to the door sills. Testarossa completely surrounded, the Yesco, like all of these cars that you saw, like images of. It was like, and there's nobody around them, and it was like, it was like something out of like, you know, was Tom Hartley, isn't he the one that takes pictures of the cars on the water? That's what it looked like, but it was just chaos. But I will say, the cars that you pointed out, some cars were open topped. They tried to put plastic over a lot of them, but the wind was so severe, it ripped it off of a lot of cars.
You know, there wasn't enough footage of this. Like, people ran inside. No one. It would have been cool to stay out, and because I didn't see any pictures or video of open top cars taking on water. The only thing I've seen is I saw somebody with like a cup or a bucket taking water out of a McLaren Elva, the interior of a McLaren Elva.
To be clear, they were encouraging us to go inside, and it was dangerous to be outside. Yeah. The lightning in an open field,
There's that golf cart video where they're driving the golf cart like, get out of here, and like a part of a tent like collapses.
Yeah, my friends were right there. Like, they got separated and went to that tent, and I have footage of them like looking around.
It collapsed like right next to a Singer 911. It looked like it was.
Well, and there was a one-off Ferrari that it was right there, and it was just like it was. I've never witnessed anything like it. Now, that's to say, a lot of people are focusing on the negatives, and I actually have a video that's coming out, Thoughts on Moda, like to talk about this. But the rest of the event was awesome. It was so much fun, and it was great. And I've been told that like this event is going to continue to go forward, and I really hope so, because I know everybody was upset like about the rain. I'm sure there are things going on. I'm sure some owners were not pleased, but
I wasn't upset. I
thought it
looked
was-
at all of those Instagram videos and I was so excited. It was like, this is a car event I'll remember. No one will remember the Quail event where I just, showed my Countach along with 4 others, but everyone's gonna remember the Moda where the guy was digging his interior of his Elva out.
Well, yeah, we watched this like really rich guy roll up his pants and take off his shoes and wade out to his Jesko. I mean, this poor guy in the Testarossa kept stalling it. I mean, it was just like, I've just never witnessed anything like it. At all the car events I've been to, it was also a reminder of why, like, it's Florida.
It's Florida.
Stuff like
that's the thing that surprised me. Like, I was watching that video and I was thinking to myself, this is a fairly typical afternoon rainstorm in Florida. These happen almost every day, honestly. I'm kind of surprised that this hasn't been a situation before.
The wind was a surprise.
Yeah.
40 to 50 mile an hour gust is a lot.
The wind seemed like an unusual.
But of course, it's on a golf course. There are no trees really to slow it down. So it's like, but I think there are definitely learnings that the event organizers will take away from this. I saw John Tamarin about 20 seconds before they told us they had to leave the tent. And I didn't get to talk to him because he was on the phone. But
was he like the organizer of it or something?
He's involved with it in some.
Let me ask you this question, and I don't mean to throw shade on the McLaren Elva, all of you McLaren Elva owners watching. Do you think that the rain is forecast, and you could put some covering on, but you have a McLaren Elva, and you think to yourself, "This is my chance."
Hold on a second. Where's the lowest point I can move this to?
I might finally be able to get out of this car and not lose $2 million. It's insured for what I paid. Unfortunately, it's only worth a third of what I paid. This is my chance to get out of a McLaren Elva.
In which case, I wouldn't have attempted to take the water out of it. Would have left it into there to stew with the electronics.
Well, maybe he made sure that video got around,
right?
So that it could be seen as he was. I tried so hard. I'm so sorry.
This is my dream car.
My insurer. I'm so sorry. I love this car so much. That's why I drove it 6 miles total. It was such a usable car
with no windshield.
and it wasn't. I wasn't upset that I paid $2.5 million and it's currently worth $375,000. It didn't bother me at all. But unfortunately, I do think it is totaled. Yeah. So sorry.
Maybe. But. Still, it was such a fun event, and my friends and I all had a great time, and I suspect we'll go back next year.
So
we'll see what the weather does.
What other parts of the event are there? There's other stuff.
There's other stuff, yeah. So there's there's the auction preview before Arm Sotheby's has an auction there, and that's those are always fun to go because you can go check out the cars. It's cool. But then
competitor to Cars and Bits. It's a competitive. We don't discuss unnamed auction company.
Unnamed auction company. Yes, unnamed auction company that sells a lot of Ferraris and cool stuff. Actually, there was a section that had all of our cars. Had a 355, like I had a Carrera GT, Countach, SLR, like the cars.
Did it have a 2014 Mercedes-Benz E350 station wagon?
No, and it didn't have a Targa. The rare, you get to hold your head high. No Targa.
2500.2.
I'm glad you went. I'm glad
speed tail though.
I'm glad you went. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yep.
I am jealous that you got to experience what I think will go down as like the car event of the year because of this ridiculous rainstorm.
I tend to agree.
Yeah.
I think that anybody who was there will remember this one for a long time. Were you there during the rain? This is going to be our calling card.
Yeah. Right, like
legit.
Amelia goes on the next week, and it looked like it was great, and it would look like it was fun and successful, but
I've been rained out of that event too.
Really? Is that right?
Oh, the last 2 years in a row, they had to move the event from Saturday to Sunday because of the rain.
Yeah, they've moved it.
But also I've gone out and they've had the show and it comes down and like it is just amazing to see 250 GTO just getting rained on like a normal. I know they're just cars, but it's like these cars are like people touch them with white gloves.
You would never take an art piece or something.
No, but then to see them driving around after. One last point on this, I will say the coolest cars to see drive around, the cars that made the most sense had no problems, pre-war cars, because they were designed to be driven on roads that didn't exist. Like just mud. They're like right at home.
That's a great point.
So
you know what else didn't have problems? The Carrera GTs.
Certainly the 959s.
Yeah.
Oh, 959s definitely.
Jack it right up and you're all set.
But I did have a last point on this. I had a lot of fun. So many people came up and said hello, and a lot of people were very kind about the podcast, which is so great. I'm so grateful for. So it's very humbling whenever someone does that.
Why is it that so many people come up to us and tell us they listen to our podcast? It's unbelievable.
Because people do. Hundreds of thousands.
Folks, you're listening to this? How humbling.
It is. It is. And someone
the number of people come up to me and say, I used to watch your videos, but I love your podcast. I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah. But I was very humbled by it and just had a wonderful time. And Jimmy Prosty says hello. Got to talk to him.
You talked to Jimmy.
Yeah, got to see everybody. So everybody was there. So it was.
Who's everybody? Did you talk to?
Tyler was there. April was there.
Did you talk to Leno?
Yeah, he wasn't there. I didn't see him.
He doesn't leave California. And you
No,
know
he
what?
doesn't.
Do you blame him?
But
last
I
time he
guarantee
did,
he'll be at
fell down a
Auckland, though. He's got buddies. He's got to go see Donald.
Yeah. Plus,
Plus, he lives there.
Osborne, to be clear.
I want to talk about the SL65.
Yes, SL65 is currently for sale. It's live right now.
It's the end of an
the
era.
cars and the bids.
A very brief era. But
Yes.
an era nonetheless.
It was. Now, you have a question you want to ask?
No,
me?
I don't even want to gloat. I don't even want to gloat.
Hey, you said Valentine's Day. What is today? Not Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but part of that is because my own delay in getting the video up. I think you would have been ready on Valentine's Day.
I would have, to be honest with you, I would have been ready to have the car for another month, I think. But I did a lot of what I wanted to do with the SL65. The whole reason I'm getting rid of it is that although the car is very me and I love it, it's just the secondary car should have a manual. It just has to.
You, by the way, I may have said Valentine's Day, but you said Monterey Car Week, as I recall.
Well, we can't all be. We're not both not right. Well, we both missed the mark.
I am impressed that you did
But
3,000
by different amounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did quite a few miles in
Yeah.
the car.
How many miles did you do?
It's actually a little bit more than that. I actually have to correct that. I think it's 1,500 more than that. So about 4,500 miles. I did in the
Wow.
car.
I mean, that's pretty good. Getting, any enthusiast who can get 5,000, I think that it takes about that many miles to really get the feel for a car. And I think you did 4,500 miles in a car. You had it. You owned it. You did, you had that experience. And
For a couple of weeks, I drove it every single day and didn't drive the M5 at all. So I think I got the experience of it. The engine's a masterpiece. I did a video that's live on my YouTube channel now that kind of talks briefly a little bit more about the ownership experience.
Yep.
But that engine, I genuinely think that is one of the best V12s ever made.
I agree.
Top 5.
It is a wonderful powertrain. And you got to experience it 4,500 miles. Nick can't go more than 60, 70 miles without stalling a car.
That's true, or money shifting it. Which, it's good thing is SLR is not automatic. There's another video I have coming out on Tuesday. Nick and I traded car. We did SLR versus SL65, which is an interesting video. It's kind of long, but it comes out on Tuesday, and you can go check that out on my YouTube channel. It's a little out of sequence, but
Kennan
I wanted to know, and we had a lot of fun.
But you didn't drag race him in the end.
Didn't drag race him in the end. I've been trying to do this thing this year where I trust my gut for feelings, and I just had a feeling it's like, we shouldn't do this.
And
Nick got a little squeamish about it too, and I actually think he was kind of right.
Let me tell you this. Giving Nick your keys is risky because of that money shift to the TTRS.
Well, luckily, no third pedal.
But don't you think Nick could still find a way? Like shift into reverse on the freeway and be like, I just wanted to see if it could.
Not to spoil anything, but I also did a video recently where I let my friends drive my SL65. And a lot of them went full throttle, but approached it, tipped it gently. Not Nick. Nick just goes...
Well, he
feels the tires. Yeah, he is used to it. He knows what he's doing.
And then he money shifts them.
Yeah, but couldn't do it with this car. But yes, the SL65 will go away, and then we'll begin the hunt for the next car.
We'll begin the hunt for the next car, which is?
I still want a Snake. I want a Viper.
I want a Viper for you. We have this 2015 Viper over here.
Yeah.
That's a little out of my price range, admittedly.
And you know what? It's not better enough to just... I think that the sweet spot of a Viper still is a good Viper 1 or 2. Yep. They never refined it so much that I don't still want the original cars. I drove that car thinking it was going to be this refined luxury experience, which is how they pitched it at the time. We finally tamed... Well, it still drives like a Viper, except that one's 120 grand. Or you can get a 95 and you pay 40.
Well, the 5th gen looks cool, but the 1st gen is cooler still. It's just so awesome.
The 5th gen is definitely the best looking, but yes, I agree.
Yes,
the 1st gen is like cool.
Cooler. It's more extreme. It's just like, well, maybe not with the extreme aero versions they do that car. I want a Viper.
Many years ago, I owned a blue white 97 GTS, and Filippo drove the car many times.
Because Doug refused to. He hated it. He was like, nah.
Here's an interesting story for you, actually. I got a message a couple of weeks ago. The fellow who bought that car, I sold that car over on Bring the Trailer because it was before we existed.
Yeah.
Now I know that Cars and Bids is the best platform to sell your enthusiast car. Get the most money for your enthusiast car at Cars and... What is that about?
That's an ad integration.
I could have done it without the tone, but yeah.
Okay. Get the most money for your car.
There you go.
Damn it. Cars and Bids.
That's the place.
Anyway, so I sold that car to a guy in New Jersey, and he bought a car on Cars and Bids.
Oh, nice.
And during the buying process, he told our employee that he was working with, he said, our team member, I'm so sorry. He told our team member, he said, oh, it's so cool that you're on a team. But he also said, hey, I still have Doug's Viper. He said, does he want it back? I'd sell it back to him. And he's only apparently done like 500 miles in the 10 years since I sold it to him.
Sounds like a Viper.
I remember we did that transaction where I sold him the Viper at the Bank of America in South Philly, and they wouldn't let him use the bathroom, even though they had a bathroom.
They just
So
saw
South Philly.
And I left Bank of America. Like I stopped being their customer. It wasn't immediately after that, but that was like one of like 28 wrongs. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. By the way, if Bank of America is a sponsor, great company, Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City or something.
That's what you think it was the Viper that they're like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to use indoor plumbing. So they're like, we can't.
I will say there was a horrible, awkward moment during the car transaction that I've never forgotten. This was 11 years ago. And I had the car cover for the Viper, you know? And he said to me, he said, oh, you get the cover. He said, is that inside or outside? And I said, well, the cover goes on the outside of the cover.
Nobody is asking. That's ridiculous.
And he goes, yeah, but do you use it inside? I was like, oh, I don't know. But it was actually an inside cover. That's the great irony of the whole thing. I don't know. I had never covered a car before in my life.
But he did not know who he was talking to.
He thought he was talking to someone who cared. Ironically, he's probably doubled his money.
But I want a Viper. I just think I just can't shake it. Like it's the heart wants what it wants, and yeah, sure, maybe same thing. Maybe I only have the car for 6 months or whatever. But like, just want to check it off.
I totally.
Yeah. You will not do 4,500 miles in this.
You say that. You don't know. I did. I did 20.
Pretty rough. I drove my Viper a lot. We had it together. Like it was. It's effortful.
I know it is, but that's what I want. That's what I want.
You say when you first buy a car, remember my Lotus Elise, this is what I want. And then after 6 months, you're like, and no one wants to ride in this with me? No one will go for it? No? Okay.
That's true. My friend Ryan has already said, I will never ride in your So, whatever. But I want one. But in the meantime, the SL65 is no reserve, so it'll find a new home on the cars and the bids.
Nice.
By the way, wait to see what happens.
Beautifully presented. Photos are great. And there's so many service records that it's...
Plus, this car is
Kennan is selling
owned.
this car.
This car is Kennan owned. It'd be like buying a car from...
Yep. Right. From who?
Yeah.
I don't know who you equate
someone
me to.
Someone else who's very fastidious.
But of course...
A German.
Yeah.
But yes, it is my car. Whenever you ask questions in the listing, I'm the one who's responding to them.
There are service records going back to 2015. Impressive.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Scanning them took a long time.
I can imagine.
And, but there's a lot of great service history at that car.
I want to move on to the market report.
Yeah.
Okay. The market report is brought to you, obviously, by Ryan Lopez's TE37s. This guy, let me tell you something. 4 lugs. They call him 4 Lug Lopez.
He'd like you to know that it's 5.
Is it 5? Your car?
Not a basic model.
It's not a base model.
He did an axle swap.
Yeah.
He did a hub swap.
Yeah, there you go. You're getting closer each time you say it.
I don't know what that car has.
Off camera,
It has 4 lugs and he swapped it. God!
I said it wasn't a base model, then admitted maybe it was a base
It's hard for me to always be right all the time, but here we are. I want to move on to the market report anyway. Let's talk about the E61.
Yeah.
We all put this down. I put it down first, but Filippo copied me
That's
later.
factually inaccurate. That's okay.
And we sold a 2010 BMW 535i xDrive sports wagon.
Okay. We talked about this last week on our Live Now show on the Cars and Bits show.
Yeah.
And it was with Ryan and Nick.
Wait, hang on. We sold this car for 50.
Yeah.
Well, Sean's going to get mad at me
I
if
thought you
don't-
said it. Sorry. Keep going.
We sold this car for $52,500 United States dollars.
Yeah. Last week we talked about it on the Live Now show on the Cars and Bits channel. And
Yeah.
Nick and Ryan did not accept at that time that this is the ultimate station wagon. It's a manual 5 Series, one of the best looking 5 Series wagons, period. Manual, inline 6, all-wheel drive, low miles.
I don't
stand
agree
by
with the
that.
best look.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
The E34 would like a word.
Yeah, but that's an old car now.
Yeah, but he's saying, well, so is this. This thing is 20 years old.
This looks way more modern. The E61 Sally has
Well, of course it looks more modern. It is more modern, but it's the best looking.
Regardless, it's also
agree
very
with
low
that. I
mileage.
think
Chris Bangle.
It's a great
You know
looking
what's
wagon.
better
It's a
looking, by the way,
genius.
is the F10, which we did not get in the States.
I
But that
I know
is
the F10
gorgeous.
Touring is
I don't know if I
really
agree
cool.
with
The Touring.
The F10 Touring, you have eyes?
Yes,
The
of course.
sedan is maybe a little too blobby, but the wagon is.
The wagon's so
Regardless, the E61 looks great. This is a really low mile, nice example.
It's
with
also
that sport
perfect.
package.
It's M Sport.
Yeah,
Man,
it's the one you want.
yeah.
And they did not accept that this is God's car. But now the market
The
has
market
shown
has
that it
proved
is.
to them that it is. What did they say it would sell for?
They didn't know. They don't know.
Ford Lug Lopez
They-
over
they
there
don't know.
$8,100. I don't
They
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
I knew.
I have to say the numbers are surprise. I wish I were here to defend the honor of the E61 because I like the E61.
I
I
love the
believe this
E61.
is the one, short of
the
the
car.
E61 M5, which we can't get yet.
This is the car.
This is the.
I'm not that surprised by the number.
No, I'm not
I
at all.
have seen over on certain auction platforms, these get to big money, and I'm thrilled that we are now getting really big money for them.
On Bonhams, they're bringing huge money.
Bottoms, they're selling them. It's right between the
How many
They
other
fluff,
auction
fluff and
sites?
Flugen.
Carrera
So it's
GTs,
the American,
Zagato,
and the
and,
American
and,
underslung.
yeah. No, but seriously, and now we've become the wagon place,
Yeah.
obviously, and this is the result. This is the kind of result I would expect for this car. It's low miles, et cetera.
Well,
It is
I wouldn't
correct.
even say we've become. We've always been.
Oh,
Like,
we
it's
have,
really
but like
killed it.
high-end wagons, you weren't sure, whatever. Now it's
Wow.
like clear that like we are wagon central, and like this is the type of car that really appeals to the
cars.
real car enthusiast type of buyer.
This is it.
And this is, and also if you're looking for one of these, it's like an 06 100 series Land Cruiser. This ain't coming up again. No matter how much money you have, like you could be sitting on the sidelines with $100,000. It doesn't mean you're going to find one of these cars.
Yep.
Low mile, M Sport, all-wheel drive, manual, etc. Even just the manual alone on an E61 wagon is very hard to find.
Yep,
Yeah.
totally. This is just, it's such a good car. I'm not surprised by the price. It is what these go for, but this is like, we're getting to new records.
And it looks
that
nicely
whole idea
presented.
of body swapping an E60 M5, hell, what you should instead do is body swap an E60 M5 into an E61 regular 5 Series.
Why don't I own
Solves every problem.
Yeah.
don't I
And
own
it's
this?
more valuable.
How can you lose?
Can you tell me if an M5 is sold? Have we sold an E60 M5 for more than this? 52.5. Has anyone since new?
I think we did. We had one really low mile one.
Well, that wagon.
I had 51.
That super low mileage one, which has been 51.
And then
no,
74,
the
okay.
answer is no, we have not. The highest dollar E60 platform
And
car on
honestly-
our site,
Is a 535.
two straight, this wagon and that wagon. Neither were M5s.
And I stand by that. That feels correct.
Needless to say, on the E39 platform, the station wagons do not pull a premium over the M5.
No. No.
You
No,
don't
but-
see 525i Tourings pulling
But
a
the
lot.
built ones do, and like we do see them occasionally. I don't know if we saw that other one.
You just do
Try to be an E39 Touring. I'm curious what.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, E39 Tourings.
Like what are these? What do they bring in if they're not built?
If they're not built,
Less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 for that nice.
Yeah. They're cheap.
They're not that bad.
like the
not like D61.
Pretty much no stakes of that generation, right?
I want to talk about. There's three other things I want to talk about. Market report. It's a big market report today. One is the Cadillac Allante. Can you pull up Cadillac Allante? We rarely on this podcast. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but this podcast is we're shilling for cars and bids on this podcast. We're just you're being sold right now.
You're talking about this one.
So we only ever talk about good results. We don't ever mention the other stuff. Today I want to change that. I want to talk about the Cadillac Allante.
For the record, this is a good result.
This is a totally market correct result. This Cadillac Allante, non-North Star Cadillac Allante, sold for $3,300. And it hit me while I was watching this. This is a really nice car. Like this is a well-preserved one. If
Yeah.
you look at the interior, especially, like it was a nice looking Allante. The Allante, like that's,
Yeah, for what they are.
a little bit of cracking, but like for an Allante, these cars are never going to be worth anything. And it's funny because when they came out in the 80s, it was like, this will be the collector's item Cadillac, low production, Italian built, Butte Pininfarina design car.
Yep.
They never, ever, 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 ever went up in value. They never will. The market segment who would have sent them up in value is no longer interested in these cars. It's over for our friend, the Cadillac Allante.
Yep.
And $3,000 to $6,000 is what they're worth.
Yep.
We turn down more Allantes than we run.
We do.
We get submitted some really rough ones that are like $1,500 cars.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this has 100,000 miles.
It's got miles. But go to the regular
A lot
Allante
of things don't necessarily work.
Go to the regular Allante results.
No,
$7,100
No, I know,
for a
that's-
North Star. This is true on the bring the trailer.
no,
There's
Allantes
no
have no
outliers here. Like ultimately, it's funny because this car had so much of a gravitas behind it when it was new, and it never did. Same with Buick Riata. They never went there.
Riata.
Yeah, the Riata.
Well, that is interesting. Does this make it the cheapest Pininfarina designed vehicle you can buy?
That's an interesting question.
Probably. They're
That's
close
interesting.
anyway. It's kind of a
Didn't they
shame
do that Hyundai Matrix, or was that Bertone?
No, they did. They do the Hyundai Matrix, which was available with 7 seats.
And that car is cheaper than this car. You can get a Hyundai Matrix.
Forgot about that car, and I love that.
That was a Pininfarina for sure.
No.
It was some Italian design house, I think, did it.
Yeah, Pininfarina.
Boom! Pull up the Hyundai Matrix. The real question that we should all have for ourselves is, would you rather have that Cadillac Allante or... Yep. And Pininfarina's contribution, because to me it looked a lot like all the other MPVs in Europe at the time, but their contribution was the rear window was a different height than the side windows. Do you see? That's real Italian design work right there for you.
Chrysler, listen up. That's innovation.
That's innovation. That's why it wasn't reliable. They innovated.
Also, I apologize. I was thinking of the Kia Rondo for having 7 seats. They only had 5.
Yeah, the Rondo, of course, it's 7
Thank you for correcting yourself.
I sometimes I get texts like, "Hey, why were you wrong about this?" I wanted to not leave that open this time.
Pull up the 3. You want to talk 300ZX?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
The 300ZX, which I drove around briefly when it was here, sold for $87,000.
By the way, in this era, this was the same price as the Allante. I'm just saying.
This one, obviously extremely desirable, crazy low mileage, manual transmission, twin turbo V6, like the one to have. And you drove it to, this just felt, the way I described driving this car is it felt adult. Like it felt grown up compared to like the other cars of its era.
Buzzy, the Evos
like,
and the STIs, which had their place, but this car was definitely more.
It's just nice.
Yeah.
It just drives great, sounds great.
Yeah.
The shifter feels awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not at all surprised. I mean, perfect example of find another one.
It is an interesting thing, though, because for a long time, these have lagged behind their counterparts. And this one, if this was a Supra, it would have sold for $200,000. However, it sold for big money.
Sold for big money. And I'm really glad because the owner I helped with this car, like, he was so fastidious. Like, they had the original tires, which are here. And they're wrapped up. He had boxes, and every sub-box in it is labeled with what goes where, and, like, all this stuff. Like,
Sold new at the Nissan dealer in Honolulu.
Yeah, right. I mean, it just fastidiously kept. Probably the nicest one. One of the nicest ones left in existence.
Undoubtedly.
And so it sold for the correct number, real money.
And we posted this, and of course the comment was, oh God, this car is ruined. You're ruining cars. They're getting so expensive. I don't think, again, this is like the STI last week. I don't think the Z32 in general is getting too expensive. I think there's a lot of ones you can buy for real cheap.
The next one's
41, and that car had 13,000 miles, although it was an automatic. But this car, though, I'm always supportive of the really special cars trading hands for big money and getting preserved. Someone should preserve a few dozen of these cars that we love.
Yep.
And I'm glad that exists. I totally am supportive of people modifying a lot of them and having fun and driving them or whatever, but like there should be some out there that in 30 years, when they're all gone, that we can look back on and be like, that car I remember.
For academic reasons, to look back at how it was. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally
and this car is clearly an example of that.
Yeah.
I think the new owner's in Florida. It is a very, very, very special car, and I am I was really excited to drive it. I had never driven a Z32 any distance before, and I was really impressed with how well it drove. Our eyes together were opened. Yeah, with totally. This car. Totally. To the point where I still think the Mark IV's cooler, better looking.
However, a nice one of these.
If you gave me the keys and were like, you're gonna do a canyon run.
Yep. And it's fast. It was fast. I was shocked at how quick it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move on to the questions. The questions which are brought to you by the Gophers in Filippo's Field.
We don't talk about those anymore.
It's just Filippo Field, by the way.
Filippo's like, these Gophers. Now, you can ask us questions. You go to carsandbids.com. You click on the community tab. There will be a post there that says questions. And you can ask us questions about any topic you want, including Ryan Lopez's air conditioning. We were a little light on questions this week, so please, people, I went through every single question.
There's 456
and I only found 8 acceptable ones. I'm very picky. Well, half the questions are like, if you had this much money, what would you buy? And I want to get like deeper than that. Right. I want to feel more than that.
He wants a conversation.
You want to feel really connected.
I want to feel like one of those Gophers tunneling in.
Do you know how they can tunnel far?
Okay.
Yeah, all the way over to my place, as it turns out, from you.
It's been a real problem in my household.
First question from Tommy Marshall. I want to get this out of the way quickly. Doug, what happened to the racing sim setup from the Linus Tech Tips collab?
It's over there.
I'll tell you what happened. It's sitting right over there. And anybody who comes into our office does a lap or two. Sean figured out something.
There's a leaderboard.
I actually haven't done it yet.
Who's fast?
But there's a leaderboard, and Sean is over here now trying to claim that he's fastest, but he's not.
Right, because he
But
sat there for hours and it really was just him. We haven't had any more experience.
Everyone else who's played on that thing has played it, like done 3 laps. Sean has spent like full nights in here, just sitting on the sim. And then so he can pop up like his little, like one of Filippo's gophers reminder screen. Who's fastest?
And despite the fact that one of our employees, team members, Johnny, has a faster time on there.
Really? Is that true?
Not anymore, apparently. Getting based on the...
Right.
Sean spent 4 full days glued to the sim.
He took a holiday weekend.
And Sean, who's in my line of sight, shaking his head. Johnny in the back is nodding. Yes, his time is faster.
Okay. From next question from Antonio SS22. This is a great and very timely question because I've been thinking the same exact thing. Given the epic success General Motors has had with the C8 Corvette, and you can't say it's been anything other than epic success, truthfully. And now the Lamborghini Huracan is gone, would it make sense from a market perspective for Stellantis to bring back the Viper where the mid-engine V10 is a halo car for their brand? You know, the Viper, its whole life came and went.
Yeah, there have been periods of time when a Viper is for sale and
then comes back, like the Z, honestly.
Yeah.
And I drove that one, and I was just thinking that same thing. You know, Stellantis is trying to regain some credibility that was lost when they came out with the fake exhaust note hatchback Charger.
Yeah, but they can't do that. And I'll tell you why. Every Viper shares something in common. It has a huge V10, naturally aspirated V10 engine and a manual transmission. That would be hard to sell in today's market.
Do you think so?
I think it would be hard to build an NA. It has to be an NA-V10, and it has to have a manual transmission.
I will say the last Viper kind of proved that maybe it needed to be the last Viper. Like they had refined it. They had finally come out with like the right Viper for the audience. Like it made it more expensive, and no one bought it. And they couldn't get rid of that. They couldn't get out of that experience fast enough.
You know, you say this, but the extreme aero cars are worth so much money now.
In the end, it's actually, but I think that actually speaks to the problem with the Viper in general. They came out with this luxury car, and which are the ones that people actually want today? It's these ultra crazy ones that actually sold in super small numbers, and you cannot justify creating the car just to make the extreme aero one. With all of that said, this would be a good time to do it.
It would be. But if they do it with a V8, like that's not a Viper.
It would. I agree.
I think so. You say it gains them credibility. If they mess with the recipe in any way, I think they instantly lose all of it.
Yeah.
I will also say that the Hellcat and Hellcat engine things gave a lot of credibility from a performance standpoint.
But it's not a Viper. There's no lineage.
It's all gone. But you know the other issue, if you look at their brands, most of their brands sell 1 or 2 vehicles at the moment.
Yep.
And like
their brands are also their models.
They don't have a unifying, like, what is the Stellantis brand? Nobody knows. What is the Dodge brand? Nobody knows. There's not a unifying theme, and I don't think that sports is one of them.
What are you going to say?
They hired 2,000 engineers to get rid of the one thing that unifies all their brands.
Hey, we don't besmirch the Fiat brand in that way.
I mean, your like side panels are falling off. Your center armrest was sharp.
That predates Stellantis.
I would argue that what unifies all their cars and their brands, they're all cool. I mean, the Pacifica may be aside, but like every Chrysler and Dodge, you are choosing to buy it knowing their reliability reputation because you think it's cool. The Ram looks cool.
Fair. The Wrangler you're doing because it's cool.
Yeah, I don't all of them.
But then in Europe, the Opel, the Peugeot, the Citroën, the Fiat, those are just cars.
But the problem is that they don't have a Viper, an Opel version of the Viper.
That would help.
And I think that if they took the Viper to Europe and made it a Peugeot, the whole world would be in better shape.
Yep. Be nice to see just a nice V10 Opel in
European
Luxembourg.
regulations, they don't allow you to wash that car in your driveway on a Sunday. They don't allow you to fix it in your garage during the week. And they certainly wouldn't allow you to drive it down the street and make a noise.
I just don't think that like it fits any brand identity.
That's true.
I don't know.
So, but I getting back to this question, I would love it if the Viper would come back personally, but I just don't see it. I think the 5th gen is the last.
Hard to imagine developing a V10 and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they could justify coming back not with a V10 and a manual.
They can't. I don't think
Keep in
they
mind,
have
though,
the
Corvette always was a front engine V8, not always a V8.
Corvette's entire brand personality was we want to be a supercar beater from America. That was never Viper's thing.
Maybe it can be. How about the GTR? Come back as a Viper. Screw a V8. Go for a V6. Make a Viper GTR.
Really?
But that car is sold to the same people who like Vipers.
Well, you know what? If I want, maybe that's what we need to get the values of the Vipers to go up. Is for them to bring a V6 back and ruin it all. I don't know.
Do you want the values to go up?
No, he wants to buy one.
I want to buy one. I'm going to buy one.
Oh, God.
Ride the wave.
He wants to buy one first. Next question from Bars and Kids. Hi, Doug. These days, you're only reviewing cars you have interest in personally or a combination of cars you know will do well for the channel. Do you have the final say in what you will review or don't review? I have the only say. I want to be clear here. Occasionally, Sean will send me a car and be like, hey, I think this would do great. Hey, this car, there's a guy who really wants you to review this. I'm like, no, Sean, no. You've seen these conversations.
Uh-huh. Been on the other side of it.
Not happening, sorry.
They're fun to watch.
You will take suggestions, and if they fit the brand identity, you'll say yes.
All the cars I reviewed, this is the greatest thing that's happened. I don't think the audience has fully understood just how wonderful this whole Cars and Bids acquisition has been. Like, you are getting an unfiltered. If we were doing this podcast 7 years ago, I'd be like, the Honda Prelude has many great merits. It is a little on the expensive side, just a smidge. But it's also a wonderful car to drive, and I suspect they'll have no trouble hitting their sales target. But now I'm here like the Prelude is trash. And that also extends to the cars that I review. Let me tell you something, okay? There is no situation on this planet in which 5 years ago, okay, I could have gotten away with reviewing a Nissan Pathfinder, an original Nissan Pathfinder. What are some of the other? Lexus RX 300. There was no chance that review would have.
I mean, some might say that 5 years ago, Doug was a little bit more.
There was a time we needed to make money. Now we just have fun. We just have fun. It's what we do here. And it's great. So the answer is, do I have a final say? Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with the say of you have the only say. That's accurate.
They've tried. Sometimes I will not review a car that I want to review just out of spite. Filippo will bring it to me. You should review this. Nope. I would have if you hadn't said anything about it.
The truth comes out.
Okay, next question from Rider7. This is actually a question for Sean, but Sean's not mic'd up, so I'm going to answer it for him. I have a bad colored G-Wagon. No.
I can't handle it.
The question can't handle
My brake lights may not
the
work.
question
We don't
is,
know.
we've heard the process of Doug creating the channel and Cars and Bids. What was the process of creating the podcast? Whose idea were the different segments and questions? Let me tell you about the podcast. We brought in Sean on a rainy day.
Yeah.
And he's like, you should have a podcast, and it should be this. And we were like, all right, and that was that. Don't you think that was kind of how
Yeah, we
I
did
don't recall doing anything.
Pre-Sean, we did some live shows that were like truly live. And
Which we still get asked about
But
a
it
lot.
turns out that's a lot harder and not as interesting as doing a pre-recorded pod where you can add additional media, where you can make it really an audio
Or you could
experience.
censor Nick.
Important.
That's what people want to see.
Imagine Nick on a
Nick
live
Unplugged. Oh my God.
We couldn't do. I mean, we couldn't.
We
do it.
couldn't.
Oh, well,
You'd need a 5-second delay at least.
At the least. Yeah.
Just like,
And when he starts on a tangent, you just pull all the cords. You just sever them. Oops.
And you get that boop, technical issues thing.
Right.
Screen.
All right. Sean came in. He created a set. He created a pod. It's great. It's the biggest automotive podcast. We should give a round of applause
Have some love for Sean.
for Sean. As I recall, our process of getting Filippo as talent, we were just like, "Will you do this with us?"
like, we're filming this today. You're
He's
here.
like, "All right, fine." And now he's a staple in our lives. He's like corn.
Heavily
the band?
incentivized by the federal government. Can I get some of that corn money?
No, you cannot. I have
No big corn for you.
We have time for a couple more questions, surprisingly. Dear Doug, this is a great question from JCW Nico, or Doug, to Doug, or any of the other side characters on the pod. They're referring to you there specifically. What is the telltale sign that you're getting tired of owning an interesting car? Is there a specific sign that will make you go, maybe it's time for something new? Is it time to sell? I will say, for me personally, I have this lucky thing where I go away in the summer and I don't really play with the cars. And if I'm not thinking about the car all summer, pretty much I saw the car in the fall. That's like
Does that happen to any car?
The RS2.
That's right.
The RS2, I was like, well, this is done. The yellow Defender.
Well, and the A-Class, which was there
A-Class.
on Nantucket.
That's
you didn't think of it.
different. We knew.
Well, of course we do.
But I think that's a big one. If you're not like actively excited, that's the beginning of it time to.
Yep, absolutely. Like, I bring up the example. It's like when I park my M5, I still get out, I walk up forward, I look back at it every single time. And I've had that car for 10 years. But there was a point in my 355. It's like I had to pick which car I was going to go on a drive with my friends, and I grabbed the keys to the other car, and it was like, it's time to sell the car. It's time to sell the Ferrari, and so I did. So yeah, I agree. If your gut is already telling you, I'm not sure if I like, time to go. You haven't realized it, but you probably.
I am, to this day, the three cars that I have that are really special, I am excited about them every single time. I look at them, drive them, think about them, etc.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to whichever couple cars don't fit in that criteria.
Well, the 993 is like more of a practical car. Like the 993, I think I'll switch out for other stuff in the future. But I still really, that's a truck, man. That's a utility truck. Me and Sean use it to deliver the mail whenever there's a big storm in Incline Village. Me and Sean go up there with our respective G-Wagons.
Nice.
Are you handling it? Him not. And the thing, you however, you either sell a car because you're going to move, you drive it into the ground, or you're forced by our content team to then sell because we filmed it and decided we were going to do that. Those are the only situations. Those are the only situations.
Not really. You don't have the ability. You're very indecisive in this topic.
No, just something. I get the GTI. I said it months ago. And it's still being actively driven.
The GTI was going to go.
We've done 5,000 miles.
The A-Bar lasted 18 months after you said you were going to sell that.
Yeah.
The GTI has been at least 6 months after you said you were going to sell that. Yeah.
He's a collector.
Such a good car. Although yesterday my wife said that she has to drive a bunch for work. She's tired of traffic in the GTI.
Manual.
Honestly, it's fair.
Yeah, I totally.
So is it going to go?
Reasonable.
No, because it's actually really useful to have a car.
Have you thought about an ILX?
No. Never.
At all?
Never.
Not even for yourself, but just in general?
In general, no. I've thought about a lot of cars. I think the Wagon is coming up maybe on some life cycle.
Well,
but I can't think of anything I want more, and so I'm not going to sell it.
may I make a suggestion?
Like you also need to have
newer
something.
Wagon?
Nah.
Rivian R2.
You also need to have something that you want to replace it with.
You want
use the
an
Wagon
R2
for a lot of really long trips.
You need a newer wagon. You need a 213.
Not
You only don't want it because I have it. If I didn't have it, you would absolutely have it today.
I'm just not
you
interested.
hate this idea that you're a budget Doug, which you are, but I love that idea.
I'm just not that interested in it.
I think
Never
it's
happened.
great.
And the 214 doesn't have third row.
The 213 is better. I drove your car. 213 is so much better.
Of course it's better, yeah. I'm not claiming otherwise.
It has CarPlay without you having to install a Chinese unit in the thing, which you did.
That the prior owner did.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't work right now very well. You have to like reconnect every time. It's a real problem.
I'm stunned at that.
Okay. That's all fair. And I think those are reasonable reasons to sell a car.
But you also need to want something else. Like I feel like there needs to be something that you want money for, that garage space.
I've been expecting to come to the end of my journey with my M5 a long time ago. Like I thought, okay, I'm going to want something else, but it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe it does one day. But like the SL did, the 355 did. It's like
for the Wagon, like
the Viper will.
The Wagon's not worth all that much anymore. It has 125,000 miles. It's been hit a couple times. It has some issues. It's a 12-year-old car. What else do I want for that money? Nothing really.
What would you do with the $8,000?
Hey, it's worth like 15.
Hey, is the Abarth gone? Did the
Abarth is gone.
They drove it to Arizona?
No, they shipped it to Vegas.
Vegas.
It's there.
Damn, driving around Vegas in an Abarth.
It will die out there. Someone's going to shoot it with a 50 cal in the desert at some point.
That would be great.
That makes
It's a great car. The Abarth was so good.
It was a great car. Yeah.
I was tired of it, but it was a great car.
Okay, next question from CLEYE Clay. Doug, with the Carrera GT selling for almost $3 million more than a Ferrari F40 at the same auction last weekend, would you ever consider selling the Carrera GT to move into an F40? We talk about Carrera GT F40 a lot here because I thought about getting an F40 when I bought the Carrera GT and chose the Carrera GT instead because I couldn't afford the F40. You know,
folks,
one interesting thing. The answer to the question is that particular Carrera GT was crazy money, and I don't necessarily think they're equal. One interesting thing, though, that we haven't talked about that this question reminded me of, you know what car hasn't run up like every other car in the last 6 months? Is the F40. F40 results have not been particularly strong.
5.23 this past at Moda.
For a 0-mile U.S. car.
For a 92 later car. It was a Euro, though.
Broad Arrow sold this week in Amelia a US F40 with 8,000 miles for 3.8 million.
Wow.
That is what they sold for. That is what they were selling for 5 years ago. That is what they are selling for today. The car that RM sold in Miami had 800 miles on it. So yes, it sold for 5 million. If an Enzo today sold with 800 miles on it, that car would be $15 million.
Well, one did.
And that's what they're selling for.
Yeah.
I have been surprised. F40 values, I think you could still to this day buy an F40 for 2.5. F40 values have not gone crazy like the other cars.
Well, I think they just made a gazillion of them.
But they made a gazillion Carrera GTs. In fact, the exact same number. And Carrera GT values have now doubled in a span where F40 values have done nothing. I have a theory. My theory is people drove the F40.
I have a different theory.
What is your theory, Ken?
My theory is that I have been watching the market very closely and where things are shifting. And it's clear that there is a shift away from the older cars. The blue chip, like carbureted Enzo era Ferraris have more or less plateaued. There was a world record Dino this past weekend. But I think the interest is more on the early 2000s Ferraris. I think that's like
maybe golden age.
I think the F4, I mean, the F40 is the one. Very difficult to use, and there are a lot of them. And so you're really just the only real differentiating factor between them. Yes, you have the CAT adjust and stuff, but it's mileage. That's like the late year production mileage.
Maybe, but a 959 just sold, which is the exact same era as an F40, and honestly way less cool. A 959 just sold for 5.5, which 959s and F40s were nowhere near the same plane until suddenly they are. And it's like, wait a second, what? I'm interested in this. I'm really surprised watching these F40 results come in that F40 has not taken off either. Now, it did take off quite a bit before, but it's interesting to me that there are not people sitting around saying F40 is a $10 million car when F50 is, when Enzo is, et cetera. There was a time when F40 looked like it was eclipsing F50.
Well, yeah, again, I still bring that for those examples, I'll bring it back to production numbers. So 349 F50s.
Maybe, but Carrera GT, when I bought my Carrera GT, it was 65 to 75% back of F40, and now it is not far off parity.
Well, again, I think part of the reason that is there is more interest in collecting those Porsches, the 959, the Carrera GT, and the 918.
As there damn should be.
As there should be.
Except for the 918, which is like a Prius.
Well, but you got to have it to complete the set. The 288 is,
You agree it's like a Prius. In a lot of ways.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm very interested. Ferraris are just so hot right now. I'm just very interested to see where things
Not the
settle.
F40, except the F40 is literally hot.
So maybe you should
when
buy-
you drive it.
Maybe you should buy an F40.
Nah, I'm out. I don't want any more cars this valuable. I'm
Folks,
done.
it's never going to happen.
It's fine with me. What I want more than anything else, a Lincoln Bronco.
Coming.
Lincoln Bronco. Bring it to the world, people. Thank you for watching. This is our podcast. Do you have anything else to say?
Check out carsandbits.com.
Oh, Cars and Bids is a sponsor too, not just the field behind Filippo's house. Cars and Bids also
Which should just be a huge cars and bids sign. We'll work on that.
If you got the 90 million and bought the field, that's what you would do.
That's
You
right.
Put up a big advertisement for Cars and Bids.
That's right.
Thank you for watching our finest podcast ever. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.